Good morning and welcome back to Steriteria for Daily Current Affairs Update. Daily Current Affairs will help you to participate several quiz contests like KBC, KHC and Dadagiri Unlimited and other competitive examinations too. You all are requested to subscribe, like and share with your near and dear ones. So without further delay, let's start. Russia becomes the first country to use hypersonic missiles in Ukraine. Recently, the Russian Ministry of Defense announced that it used the hypersonic missile for the first time in the conflict with Ukraine. These ultra-fast hypersonic missiles are capable of hitting targets anywhere on Earth within a short span of an hour. War conflicts are often used by top arms export to test their new platforms, and the important countries are also looking out for such weapons which will help in knocking down their enemies. Weapons like hypersonic missiles are the new age technologies that are in the process of being perfected by various countries like China, the US, India, and these considered to be unstoppable. Let's move on. SpaceX president says Russia's invasion of Ukraine opened door to Starlink. SpaceX was already close to offering internet service in Ukraine, but Russia's invasion accelerated the process and it's now offering consumer connections in a war zone. We were close to getting the approval to offer service, but the documents were not all signed. Given Shotwell said Tuesday at the Satellite 2022 conference in Washington after the conflict began. They tweeted at my boss, and that was permission to provide capability. Let's move on, please. COVID-19 surge in US, Europe, and China, triggering fourth wave fears. Should India worry? A large part of Europe, the UK, the United States, China, and Hong Kong have been witnessing a sharp rise in the new cases of COVID-19 infections, triggering concerns about a possible fourth wave hitting India sooner or later. Though the COVID-19 situation in India remains fully under control, with a sharp decline in new and active cases, experts have been sounding an alarm about the fourth wave hitting India around mid-June. With more than 40 million confirmed cases, India is next only to the US, which has the world's highest COVID-19 caseloads. If top global health experts are to be believed, the Omicron subvariant is behind the recent surge in the new COVID cases around the world. Let's move to our next slide, please. Ravi Pillai becomes the first Indian to own an Airbus luxury helicopter worth rupees 100 crore. The helicopter was delivered by Airbus in Kovalam and took its inaugural flight from Kovalam to the Ravi's Astamudi with the RP Group Vice Chairman on board. The helicopter is the first Airbus D3 helicopter in India and the first five-bladed H145 helicopter in Asia. The RP Group has helipads at the Ravi's Kadabu in Kozhikode, the Ravi's Astamudi in Kollam, and the Ravi's Kovalam in Thiruvananthapuram. The helicopter is capable of handling up to 7 passengers and 2 pilots and can land on and take off even at altitudes as high as 20,000 feet above the sea level. Let's move on, please. Israel says no to Ukraine request for Pegasus spyware. Russia is a reason. Pegasus spyware is one of the most sophisticated tools created by NSO Group. The Israeli firm has forged deals with several lessons under which their governments can access Pegasus to snoop on anyone they want. Previous investigations have shown various governments use Pegasus to turn the mobile devices of senior government and diplomatic officials into remote listening and recording devices. Ukraine, which is currently fighting with a war with Russia, needs such a surveillance tool more than ever now. Pegasus could have given Ukraine access to devices of prominent people, something Russia doesn't want. Let's move to our next slide, please. Mumbai has double the number of billionaires than Delhi. Number of billionaires 31. Number of centimillionaires 249. Mumbai has the highest number of millionaires and billionaires among all cities in India. According to Henley and Partners report, the city is projected to have 80% growth in high net worth individual by 2031. Let's move to our next slide, please. Vladimir Putin made big mistake invading Ukraine. NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg. NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg on Thursday accused Russian President Vladimir Putin of making a big mistake by invading Ukraine as leaders gathered to discuss overhauling the alliance's eastern defenses. President Putin has made a big mistake, and that is to launch a war against an independent sovereign nation. He has underestimated the strength of the Ukrainian people, the bravery of the Ukrainian people, and their armed forces. Stoltenberg said ahead of the start of a summit in Brussels. Stoltenberg said the leaders of the US-led military alliance would address the need for a reset of our deference and defense in the longer term, stating with agreeing new deployments to eastern members Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and Bulgaria. Let's move. The hybrid Deltacron is in India. Is it more dangerous? If you believe COVID is over, you are living under a rock. While everyone believed that the Omicron BA2 variant may lead the fourth wave in India, another variant is waiting right there for the whole world. And it is the mixture of two variants, Delta and Omicron, known as Deltacron. The Delta variant affected people during the second wave, while Omicron's spread led to the rise of the third wave in India. The Delta variant majorly affects the upper respiratory system, and patients experience difficulty in breathing with low oxygen level. On the other hand, Omicron represents common cold-like symptoms. Let's move on, please. Thank you very much for staying with us and enjoying our video. You all are again requested to subscribe, like, and share with all your near and dear ones. Till our next video, do take care of yourself and have a great moment ahead. Bye bye.